The Sovereign Shadow, a long-form narrative on Carl Jung's secret. The most dangerous thing you can do is let yourself be fully known. This isn't a metaphor. It's not a poetic exaggeration. It's a truth that Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who mapped the depths of the human psyche, lived by until the day he died. He didn't just talk about the unconscious. He walked among its shadows, and in those shadows, he found something our modern world has almost entirely forgotten. Power lies in not the unknown out there, but the unknown within you. The parts you refuse to explain, the thoughts you don't post, the dreams you don't reduce into language, and above all, the sacred places in your mind where no one else is allowed. In today's world, being open is currency. People are praised for oversharing. Confession has become performance. Vulnerability is sold as virtue. But Jung, watching the madness of 2 world wars, watching modern man drown in his own reflection, saw something dangerous taking shape beneath all this transparency, the death of mystery, the surrender of sovereignty. You see, once someone thinks they understand you completely, they stop exploring you. They stop asking questions. You become a map they've already memorized, a solved puzzle, a finished book. But it doesn't stop there. When you believe that someone knows you completely, when you buy into their image of you, something inside you begins to shrink. You stop wondering about yourself. You stop growing. You begin performing who you've been told you are. Jung saw this happen to patients, lovers, teachers, and colleagues. He watched people give away their deepest truths just to be seen, and then suffer when they became invisible in that seeing. Because visibility isn't the same as being witnessed. Sometimes, the more you're seen, the less you're truly felt. So he made a decision most people never even consider. He would never be fully known, not by anyone. Not because he was hiding, but because he was still becoming. That's the part we forget. We treat ourselves like finished beings, as if all the answers are already within us, waiting to be published in some perfect self-help memoir. But Jung knew that the self is not a fixed object. It's a living myth. A constellation of contradictions, an unfolding process that requires time, silence, solitude, and protection. Yes, protection. From what? From interpretation, from reduction, from the well-meaning hands of those who love you, but do not understand that even love can be a kind of suffocation when it expects to know everything. Jung created his own refuge, a stone tower by Lake Zurich where he lived like a medieval monk. No electricity. No visitors, no explanations, just a man and his inner world, in conversation with dreams, symbols, and ancient texts. There he met the parts of himself that would never survive public scrutiny. There he grew beyond the reach of categories. And here's the truth Jung lived but rarely said outright. To become yourself, you must first become unknowable. That's the paradox. Authenticity doesn't come from radical transparency. It comes from integrity, the integrity to guard what's not yet ready to be seen, and maybe never should be, because the shadow, the part of you you've hidden, feared, or ignored, isn't just darkness. It's potential. It's power that hasn't yet been named. And if you reveal it too soon, if you turn it into content before it becomes wisdom, you don't liberate it, you kill it. That's what's happening to people now. We're burning our inner lives for the approval of strangers. We're explaining ourselves into extinction. We're posting our rawest truths and wondering why we feel more hollow than ever. Because we have forgotten the value of privacy. We have forgotten the sacred. Jung never did. Even when patients asked, even when friends demanded answers, even when his own students begged to know the man behind the theory, he gave them pieces, enough to learn from, but never the whole. Why? Because the whole was still being written. And it always would be. So if you want to live fully, begin here. Stop explaining everything. Speak only when the words deepen the mystery. Let others misunderstand you, and resist the urge to correct them. Cultivate spaces in your soul that no one gets to enter, not because you're hiding, but because you're becoming. Mystery is not the enemy of connection. It is its source. And sovereignty, real psychological sovereignty, is not about power over others. It's the power to remain yourself even when the world is trying to understand, define, and reduce you. Jung was never fully known, and that is why he remained fully alive. A man in motion, a myth unfolding, an evolving presence that could not be solved, and therefore could not be dismissed. The question is no longer whether you'll be seen in this age. Visibility is inevitable. The question is, will you keep something for yourself?